So in the past, I saw these live action adaptations as something that could be really interesting, but lately I just don't care. I still do have some hope for some series like the Cowboy Bebop live action, whatever, I think the TV show or a movie, I have no clue which one it is. But the reason I have hopes for that is because Cowboy Bebop as an anime isn't really that special. It's not anything that's going to be too heavy on special effects or anything like that. It's just regular people in space pretty much. But even still, I want to talk about this because I was one of the people that thought that the live action movie for Avatar: The Last Airbender was going to be great, and then it ended up being a complete dumpster fire. I remember the summer that movie came out, me and my friends, we planned to go see that movie, and we just so happened to miss the showtime for it, just to hear that the movie was absolute dog shit, and we were happy that we never wanted to go see it. And we've seen in the recent past that Netflix especially has been trying to make live action adaptations of anime such as Death Note. And I don't even have to say what the hell happened with that because we all know how bad that turned out to be. So terrible. But now, of course, they're dipping their toes into Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the most recent news regarding that is that the original series creators left the production because it's not going to be what they envisioned. And whereas before where I had hope that maybe something was going to turn out well, now I have a completely different mindset on all of these things going forward. Please stop making live action adaptations of anime. It is the worst thing possible. Anime is good because it is anime, period. For those of you who have seen the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who have seen the most recent My Hero Academia movie, you know what I'm talking about. And hell, even going beyond that, if you've just watched anime, period, you know what I'm talking about. The animation is one of the best parts about what makes an anime so good. There are so many great examples of what animation can do that people just can't do. I don't care how your special effects look, it cannot match up to the animation that takes place in these anime. It is just not even comparable. And the big question is, who the hell is asking for these things? Because I know for sure that I'm not asking for any of this. Whenever I hear about it, I hope the best for it, but I'm damn sure not asking them to make live action adaptations or anything. And in the case of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action series is going to be on Netflix. Just seriously shut that shit down. Nobody wants to see it anymore if it's not made by the actual creators of the series. And even then, why would you go against the creators of the series when they're the ones who made this universe and these characters? They know the most about what they should do, what you should do with this series. Okay, so I actually just finished recording that video, and I just looked on Twitter and there's something else that's trending just regarding this Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series too. It's really bad actually. So apparently the creators of the series left for different reasons, and we now have confirmation of what those reasons may have been. First off, they didn't want a single white actor on this show, and Netflix didn't like that. Honestly, the original series didn't really have white people in it to begin with, if you want to be honest. It's obviously set in a more Asian culture, a more Asian background. It's definitely not going to have a lot of white people in it, so it makes sense that they didn't want white people to be in the series. But all of that stuff aside, Netflix actually wants to make the series darker, more mature, with more romance and sex. They want to age up the characters and make this into a full-blown drama teen sort of show. And I'm not terribly mad at all that stuff, but why would you do that if the series creators themselves say, we don't want you to do that? Like, we don't want this to be what you're making it out to be. And now more than ever, it's definitely apparent that they need to stop this show right now. They need to stop it, they need to cancel it, they need to get rid of it, they need to just throw it in the trash. They're literally spitting in the face of the creators themselves, and I hate that. That is so terrible. The creators wanted the series to continue to be aimed at children, and hey, That's not a bad thing. It was always made for children. It was already set to be a series made for children. And I do not understand why they have to make everything so dark and gritty and make it more sexualized, because that's not all that people of our age group, at least, you know, people in their 20s or older, think about. That's not all they care about. And hell, even if you're in your teens, that's still something that you don't always care about. I went back and watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series on Netflix, and I'm fine with it. It's cool. It's a great series. I love stuff like that. Things can be animated, things can be childish. It doesn't have to always be something heavily sexualized or festering in blood and sex and dark tones and all this mature shit. Just stop it. And I would have been okay with it if the series creators were okay with these things, but they obviously weren't, so this needs to be canceled. This shouldn't be a thing. I don't know, man. It's just incredibly stupid. It sounds entirely stupid. It's whatever at this point. But you know what? The only thing that could save this series for me, and I am being totally honest about this, if you put my man's Eggman, I don't know who he actually is, I don't know his actual name, but this guy on screen right now, if you put him in that series and you have him playing as Aang, I will definitely watch an entire series based on this man's journey as Aang. I would love that. And hell, while we're at it, make my man's Neckman Zuko, and we have a perfect series in the making. But that's about all for this video. Don't forget to like it if you guys like it, or follow me on Twitter where we can continue the conversation. And I will see you guys in the next one.